Inasmuch as Samia Suluhu accepted the result, AU now calling for military takeover in Tanzania. And as I was just reading the two shocking headlines exposing Tanzania head of state, let's begin with African Standard newspaper. They are saying, according to African Sunday newspaper, African shame polls, Tanzania president election has delivered a staggering 98% victory for President Samia Suluhu Hassan, then a figure so impossible it border on a country with opposition leader jail, vote turnout looking exaggerated, and the nation plunged into an internet blackout. What unfolded was more of coronation. To demonstrate efficiently, officials counted until 33 million votes in 2 days. Yet the question now is what next for Suluhu? She may have secured power, but legitimacy has slipped through her fingers, restoring faith at home and credible broad will demand for more than geographic declaration of victory. That is what the Standard newspaper is saying. And so far, 800 bodies have been confirmed, tortured, and killed during all these political wrangles between Tanzania president and the resident in Tanganyika. Let us go through the AU demand. According to European Parliament, they are saying that the election in Tanzania was not free and fair, and most of the Tanganyika residents did not agree with Samia Suluhu's administration. That we express our deep solidarity with the people of Tanzania who are courageously taking to the street to demand democracy, justice, and accountability. These are not riots or acts of chaos, but a legitimate broad-based government movement for democratic renewal that brings together citizens from all generations and social media backgrounds. We are deeply concerned about reports of violence and loss of life. The international community must refrain from hostility, recognizing the recent election result until credible investigations have been taken place and democratic standards are ensured. Then the last stanzas, if the military assumes a role in this critical moment, it must be strictly limited to facilitating a peaceful and democratic transition, not an entrenching power. The people of Tanzania deserve freedom, dignity, and a movement that reflects their world. We stand with all these peaceful, calling for democracy and human rights in Tanzania across the region. That is what the AU Parliament has come out with. Mr. David Alasta, Eric Marquardt, Michael Garcia, and Barry Andrews, and Robert Bedron. Then down there, you can as well continue reading their name. In short, even the AU Parliament, EU Parliament, is not happy with Samia Suluhu's winning in the election. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to this broadcast, Zion Kenya TV YouTube broadcast, and I want to say thank you for your continued support in this channel. I don't take it for granted, and if you are first time viewer watching me at this broadcast, I request you kindly do me a favor, take a 1 second, click that notification bell and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like my video, share my video to your friends, family and relatives. I don't take your support for granted, and you are really doing amazing job in this channel. Remember, we are on a road trip to 14K subscribers. By the end of this month, we're gonna make it even 20 or 15. Now, one thing I have observed in this African election, let me just do a combination. These people are greedy for power. They don't have some leadership knowledge. That is what is affecting most of African's country. They speak a lot and they don't work, they don't want to deliver what they are talking about. The same way if you go to Uganda, Museveni is old. He's supposed to give power to someone, but he's still refusing. If you go to South Africa, if you go to Zimbabwe, if you go anywhere in Africa. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this, even here in Kenya, the current head of state talk a lot of promises, but people are rioting, people are demonstrating. Instead of finding a solution, is busy purchasing cars in churches, donating funds, 50 million, 30 million in churches. I don't know that I'm disagreeing with the donation in churches. I know that I'm mocking God. No. But what I'm trying to say is that in life, we must not shed crocodile tears in some circumstances. Even God is happy when you build your own home first. Even God is happy when you build where you live first. Your normal life is when you build others' life. The reason why I'm saying this is because leaders in Tanzania, instead of telling Samia Suluhu that this election was not free and fair, you tortured and you murdered innocent Tanzanians. You've rigged this election. The international observers said that this election is not free and fair. Then why don't we just obey our constitution? Instead of that, Samia Suluhu detained our own opposition. Isitoshe, she was the one in the ballot. Samia was in the ballot, Suluhu was in the ballot, Hassan was in the ballot. She's happy taking that chance. Well, but she don't understand that all is vanity. There were so many opponents who could have campaigned and competed with Samia Suluhu. But because she's in power, she decided to arrest opposition, thinking that by doing that, she could have maintained peace and stability. As we speak, the Tanzanian residents are not happy with the current president. And I'm confirming that these people will still disturb you. In a country where you are elected as a president and they don't agree with you, then it means that you are forcefully rigged this election and you are after leadership, but not after performance. You are after power, but not after leadership. The EU is now seeing this as a tyranny and saying that now, therefore, let us just call the military to take over for some 90 days and Tanzania to go back for another election because Samia Suluhu is not confirming to us here that this election was held free and fair. And that message is clear, and you can as well see another storm tormenting and torturing Her Excellency Madam Samia Suluhu. Ladies and gentlemen, that is how African leaders behave, and they obviously not happy already to have free and fair election. And that is why I told you that ile siku tu nilisulu tuseme amekufa, ndio hao viongozi watajitokeza waseme alikuwa mtu mzuri. The same way wamefanyia Raila Odinga. Raila Odinga has been winning this election. But those people who always speak bad on him, who used to speak bad on him, are the same people now pretending, taking gift. I'm seeing them Some can even sleep at Bondo just to ensure that they take a photo with Ida Odinga. Watu wa hapa Afrika wamefurahia tu kwa maiti yako, hawana tu madharau kwa maiti yako. Lakini ukiwa hai kama hii Zion Kenya TV YouTube broadcast, ile madharau wako nayo, ile madharau Afrika wako nayo, hata Mungu hawezi kubali. So that is what Samia Suluhu also did to Tundu Lisulu. Tundu Lisulu was a great competitor for this madam. But because she is greedy and she has copied William Ruto's spirit, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni's spirit, other African spirit, she cannot leave that power. And that is why the AU is calling for her removal, because the election there was not free and fair. And by the way, it was not. Let us speak facts. You are happy being sworn in while you have tortured and murdered 800 bodies lying on the floor or on the ground because of you, which has ever happened in the history. It is a massacre killing. And in fact, if some of the Chief Justice in Tanzania or opposition, then I could sue I could sue Samia Suluhu to international community, that is the ICC, to be arrested because she murdered the innocent Tanzania during election. And ask her which article allows people to be murdered during election.